Hi everybody, it's Amy at Crafty Cat. So I'm sure you can tell by all the stuff I have here today, we're going to bind our journal. And I'm just going to say my hands are hurting, so it might be a little fiddly, so I apologize for that, but we're going to do our best. So I'll show you what I've done with this. I put some different fabrics, sort of made like a little cluster. There's eyelash trim here, and then just all different fabrics and some lace, and there's that says wish all on there, and then I just stitched it before I glued the pocket down. The pocket's all glued down now, so I don't know what I'll put in there yet, but we'll work on that. And then on this side I used one of the really cool slow stitch kind of clusters that my sister made for me, and then I just added lace and silk, and that one obviously dream, to that, and stitched it all around, so that's all stitched down. My sister's having surgery when you see this, so please say a little prayer for her. She's fine. It's just something she needs to do. So anyways, but please keep her in your thoughts. So what we're gonna do is sew this signature in, and I have gone through yesterday. The way I do this is I go through and I make sure all my pages are where I want, because sometimes, by the time you stitched in, like this page is moved down, or whatever, stuff gets moved around when you're in and out of it all the time. So just make sure everything's where you want it, and once that's done, you're just gonna clip it. That's my middle, and then I just try to get all my pages, as straight as possible. It's always tricky when I have that envelope, which is real thick. I'm going to go ahead and take the extra tags out of there, just because that isn't going to help our cause at all. But they're just thick at the spine, so sometimes it's a little tricky getting everything straight, you know what I'm saying? And I can already see this is going to be mess with me. Okay. So I just try, my best to get it all straightened out and get the clips on it as best we can. Oh, I needed to clip that to the cover. Sometimes I do a signature if it's multiple signature book. This is one signature, so it's a little bit easier as far as clipping it goes. That was way off anyway. When you're doing multiple, you would poke the holes in each individual signature and then sew it into the cover. But because this is one signature, we're just going to sew it right into the cover, poke the holes and all that, write it, and it'll go. So we can just clip it right to the cover, but I just need to I kind of want a middle as possible, like the same amount here, as far as the extra that is left on the cover. Sorry, words escape me when I'm trying to do this. And I just like to make sure, if I can, that it's all down in there good and tight. So that's probably good. I probably don't need two more, because it's, like I said, one signature. And then I put it in my book cradle, if you have a book cradle. If you don't, you can use like a phone book or something. The crease down the center of it can work. I have never had a whole lot of luck using a book. That's why I asked my husband to make me this book cradle in the first place, was because I struggled with getting it all straight. The holes on the spine, it seemed like they'd always come out like a little off to the side or whatever. And I can see right now that this needs to go down just a little bit more. Okay, I think that's... It's not in the right spot, sorry. I fiddle and fiddle. I am not the best person to watch do this. Probably Gail Augustinelli is the best person to watch sew in signatures. She's super quick and but I'm a big la about it, and I take forever to get it where I want it. Even though I've done, I don't even know how many, so it's kind of silly, but there you have it. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is take my awl and I'm going to poke in the center as best I can. I mean, obviously, and if you want, you can measure all this out. It's just, this is a one signature. It's not a multiple signature journal. So it's not as big of a deal that it's, in the exact center. Do you see what I'm saying? Because we're not going to have to line up other signatures with it. So I'm going to just say that's center, and I poke all the way down, and this book cradle has a little kind of gully in it, or I'm not sure what you call that, but a little edge or a little trivet part that makes it so that it's like a spot where the awl can't go anywhere else. Can't go off to one side or the other. So that's how it keeps it from going off sides. It just stays where it's supposed to when you poke the holes. And I'm just going about an inch up and an inch down from top and bottom. Oops, I just scooted on that one. Okay, so then I have my needle and thread all done, and I use upholstery thread, and I ordered this off of Amazon. It's just stronger thread. It's not like regular thread, so that's why I use that. I don't need my book cradle anymore, but you can see my holes are right on the spine. They're not, see, sometimes when you poke it with a book, you end up off one side or off, you know, to the other side a little bit. I don't have that problem. And of course, the book cradle is not a necessity. It's just kind of a nice tool to have. We're just gonna go out our hole from the inside. You can go from the outside too. Actually, do I want to go from the outside? I'll just do it this way. And then we're gonna do top hole. You can go bottom hole. There's several ways to do this, so this is just the way I do it. I'm always a little, why am I having trouble here? It's like it doesn't want to go through all the layers or something. Oopsie. That's probably from my little scoot that I did. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do it this way because I can't see what I'm doing very well with the camera in my face. That's why I don't do them on camera a whole lot, because I just struggle with it. I'm not very great. When you got lots of pages and it's thick, sometimes it's a little tricky. So there we go. And then we're going to go out through the bottom. Going out is always easier in my opinion, but then we're going to have to come back in through the top part. So either way, it gets you, or I mean through the middle again. Okay. And you just, the trick is you don't want your string that's in the center to go all the way out. So you got to kind of make sure you have the end of it, you know. And pull that a little bit. And then we're going to go back in through the center again, hopefully. Maybe not. Yeah, so don't feel like if you struggle with binding a journal that you're alone, because I do too, and I always have. It's just probably my least favorite thing about making journals. But the book cradle helps, at least with getting the signatures sewn in straight. But it seems like always a fiddly process for me, and I don't know why. I must do something weird, but anyway. Don't feel alone or that you're unable, because we're all able to do it. It's just it might take some of us longer than others. And the thing is, I don't want to poke more holes. I really try not to ever do that. Okay, sorry about that. That was a big fiddly thing. I didn't figure you needed to sit and watch me try to get that last needle through the center. So what we do now is we get one thread on this side of our center line and one thread on the other side of our center line. You can see the center right there. And then you just want to get it nice and taut. And so a lot of times I'll pick it up like this just to make sure I have it taut. And then, because sometimes those little threads get away from you. And then I do 3 knots on mine. You can do it however you choose. And I tie a bow if I'm going to keep it on the inside. I may put little charms. I don't generally do that just because I don't really have a whole lot of charms. And then I put a little dot of glue on the kind of the knot of the bow, just to hopefully keep that bow tied. But yeah, that's all. And then we make sure that this is nice and taut, and you can see it's like a guitar string or something, you know. I'm gonna let that be for a minute since it's got a little glue on it, and then I'll just trim off those bits. Yeah, I always struggle doing signatures. I don't think I'm ever going to get fast at it. But you just plug along and eventually it works. And I just try real hard not to, you know, I don't want any extra holes, so I try not to bug it too much, you know. Just keep, if you have to take it out and start over, do that. I've done that many, many times. Or if you get it tied like this and you're just not happy, like it's not tight enough or something doesn't feel right, just take it out and do it again, because you want it to be tight or your pages are going to be all loose in there, and you definitely don't want your pages to be loose. You want them to be nice and tight in there. Okay, so we can go ahead and put back our bits and pieces here. This one was in the back part of that envelope, right? Yes. In here. Oops, maybe. And then we had our little extra tags in here. I don't know which ones were where, but we'll just plunk them in somewhere. That'll work. And on this side, we had these, and I did add one of the little mushroom that's in the kit, the Wee Flower Fairies kit. There's this little mushroom. I just backed it with some purple paper. And then this one goes in here and hangs out just a tiny bit. So we're all bound now, and I don't mind that hangs over, because that one hangs over, and when it's all the way closed, you're mostly just getting like the fluff from that piece, so I don't have a problem at all with that. And we're going to work on the cover, but let's figure out where we can put this. This needs to be backed, because that's going to go in there. And then I had another little tag for there. What did I do with that, I wonder? Oh, it's over here. Hold on. I made this little tag. It says Dream right there. I was just going to tuck her in there. And where do I want to put this? I think I'm even right now on ephemera, so maybe I'll put the belly band back here. Or I'm going to use it like a belly band. You can obviously make it into a pocket, because that's kind of what we did, but I think I'll just let it be a belly band, glue top and bottom, and since it's tall enough, I figured that'd be fun. And we'll have to make And probably one more piece of ephemera for that from part of the journal, and then 2 like journaling cards or something for the pockets in the front and the back. Now, if you want this all glued up, definitely, like, you know, you want a pocket and not a belly band, then that works too. It doesn't really matter. And I need a towel. So how are y'all? I just jumped right in. See how rude I am? I apologize for that. I just get excited and terrified all at the same time when I'm buying journals. You'd think by now, I've been doing this for like 5 years, you'd think I would be a master at it, but so that just goes to show you it does take, it is a tricky thing to do, no matter how long you've been doing it. So hang in there and just plug along and you'll get there if you have trouble. If you're super quick and speedy at it, I'm so happy for you because I suck at it. Oh, you're so lucky. All right. So on the front of our journal, I have some pieces. This is from Karen. It's got a little bit of gold shimmer, and I don't know if you can see. You probably can. And you're not going to be able to see a lot of this flower. I don't know exactly how I want it, but I'm okay with that. I just more want that golden shimmer. And then I'm going to put this piece of collage, and that's one of my collage boards, kind of like the one I did in my video yesterday. And then this is from my sister, and I added the eyelash trim just because I wanted to bring in some more purple, and I just liked the way that looked. And then we're going to have one of the flowers, and I did print this on cardstock so it's thicker. And then our little fairy is going to go like that, I think. And then I have some trim stuff that I'm going to put down the spine there. So let's go ahead and get this all attached down. And I'm just going to use tacky glue because that's what I like. But of course, use the glue you prefer. Tacky glue has always worked great for me. But I know, you know, everybody's got their favorite. So obviously, probably Fabri-Tac is an excellent option for this. I am just not a fan, so. And it's because of the way it feels on my hands. It's not that the glue is bad. I just can't stand it when it's on my hands. It's like a nails on a chalkboard thing. So sorry to bring that up because I know that's one for a lot of people. I'm just weird. I don't know. I'm sorry. And it's silly because it's just glue, but for some reason it just can't do it. So my husband and I started watching Mystery at Blind Frog Ranch. That is kind of along the lines of the Skinwalker Ranch episodes. And it's also very weird. Like, there's just some electromagnetic something going on in both of those places. They're right close to each other, those two ranches in Utah. And it's just fascinating to me. Like, I'm not sure about the alien thing. I mean, and maybe there is. I really don't know. Like, you know, I've never seen an alien, so I couldn't tell you. But I still find whatever it is fascinating. So it's so interesting. It's just like, how in the world does all that stuff go on at these places? And nobody's figured out what in the world yet. And I just am floored by that it's just never been figured out. I think that's the part that amazes me the most. Because it's been going on since, you know, the time of when the Indians had that land and everything. It's not like a new thing. So I just find it amazing that nobody's really solved that yet. But it is real tricky, so. And as we get more technology, we get closer and closer to figuring some of those kind of things out. But it's fascinating regardless. I don't know if it is real, not real, whatever. I am not here to say anything about that, but it's just interesting. So, anyway, that's been fun to do. I like to watch stuff like that because it's not scary at all. It just makes you wonder, what in the world. And I am going to put a lot of glue on this because it's going on that fabric. It just makes you wonder, like, what in the world? Like, it's just the craziest thing to me. But it's just very interesting. I love stuff like that because there's nothing really. I don't like gore. I don't like all the smut that's on TV now. I don't want to watch all that. Like, I'm just done. Just stop. I don't want to watch it. So I like stuff like this because it's nothing. I mean, it definitely makes you wonder, but it's just real more informative and interesting, and I like that. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna go with. I like this cluster down here. I didn't want to do anything too thick. I know this is a little bit thick and it might get kind of caught up in the in and out of the file folder, but I'm hoping that it'll work okay. Get it good and glued down. It's always a trial. Every journal is a trial, and there are always things that happen that you're like, how do I fix that? At least for me, I don't know. Maybe it's because if I would keep it simple, I might have more luck with not having that problem, but I always have to try something more difficult or whatever. And yeah, there's always something, it seems. I don't know, let me know if you guys feel like that too, that there's stuff that you run into quite frequently making journals. Just something different. It's not the same thing every time. It's always how it is in your mind, and then making that happen is another story. So, yeah, it's very fun. Keeps you hopping, that's for sure. That was a lot on her little antennae. I'll try to fix that. Probably should have used our glitter glue, but I really want, this is a little bit thicker, and in the end it seems to stick better. She's also printed on a cardstock, so she's a little thicker than normally I do them on just copy paper. You could also, if you were just doing a normal cover, you could pop her up a little bit with some foam dots and stuff. But like I said, I want this to be pretty flat since it's going in and out of that other manila file folder, which we haven't even dealt with yet. But we're getting there. We're getting to that part. I'll probably do that Monday, do the cover for that. But yeah, I highly recommend. I don't know a whole lot about the Blind Frog Ranch yet because we've only watched a few episodes, but I mean, it's just definitely interesting. If nothing else, there's the entertainment value for the interest. But I think they're very interesting. Of course, if you're not into that kind of thing, then you're probably not gonna like it, but it might still be worth watching just because it's the things that make you go type thing. All right, I like it. Let me get my spine cover. Now that we're sewn in, we can do this too. So I have this piece of, I'm not even sure what this fabric is. Is it organza? I don't think it's organza. Anyway, it's a very thin, almost like a sari silk, but it's not sari silk. And then a piece of lace. We're going to put those on there. The problem is that kind of flowy material, it does not glue really well. Like, you can see the glue. So I'm going to have to be really kind of diligent with trying to keep it flattened out more. Let's open this. Where's the center? There it is. The dragonflies. Okay. So I'm going to try to just keep it real flat. And I go right over my strings and everything. And I'm going to try to just sort of flatten it out as much as possible so that it's more, we don't get glops, you know, here and there. Pull it a little bit more towards the back, I think, just a little. I don't want to overlap this too much. A little bit's fine, but probably should have done it first, but that's okay. Oh my goodness, yeah, see, this is the problem with glue. But at least this, I can get it off my hands. Okay, and this one is a little bit thinner, or, you know, narrower. So yeah, I think that will be fine. And we're going to put the glue just on the, which side is the good side here? I think I had it right. We're going to put the glue like on the little flowers and things, so hopefully we're not going to see a bunch of it. Might see a bit. It'll dry clear, but obviously you don't want to see it if you can help it. I'm trying not to put too much. But I like this tacky glue too because I've got a little wiggle room, which I feel like I don't have with the art glitter glue. It feels like it just glues, boom. And it's just, I think it sticks better for this kind of stuff. Okay. But again, use what you like. My aunt commented on one of my videos about the trials of, you know, like she's just learning this whole what ephemera is and all those kind of things, because she's not a journal maker. She does like weaving and things like that usually. She's just kind of gotten into this because of me. But she was talking about one of her trials of learning has been finding what glue to use, and it's like, yeah, that is because you have to go with what you like. I mean, you can obviously take suggestions or try the stuff that other people are using, but a lot of times you just don't like whatever it is that other people are using. That's kind of my thing with the Fabri-Tac, because I know that's like everybody uses that, but I can't do it. So you just got to find what works for you. You really can't just go with what other people are using always, because sometimes it's just not right for you. You just don't like it. And it's kind of that way with everything with journal making. You've got to do you. Like, you can definitely see how other people do stuff just to feel like, you know how to do it or whatever, but in the end, you really got to do your own thing. I'm going to set this off to the side and let it get dry, and then I'll come back to it. And we'll back this so that I can put it in the other side of that paper clip. going to use some manila file folder again because I got it. And it's a scrap piece. Come on. It's a little bit thicker one. I got some more glue. I was running out. Okay, let me grab a glue book. Yeah, it was getting low. I had one left of the glue sticks. And I use a Scotch Create if you want to give it a try, and it's permanent. So I've had no issues with stuff falling off. I know that that often is an issue with glue sticks. At least I went through loads of different glue sticks before I came upon that one, and that's the one I like. But again, it's just something you got to try different ones and figure out what you like. And my other scissors. And this is in the fairy kit. And there's a link in the description box below this video, and there is a link in all the videos of this journal. But always there's my Linktree, and all Linktree is a program that allows you to put multiple links into it, and you know, they're always there, so I can just add the link for Linktree, and that way I don't have to put every, you know, link for my Instagram, a link for my Amazon, a link, you know, I can just add the Linktree link, and it has all those links. So you can go see what I use on Amazon. I've put most of the things I use the most. You can go to my Instagram from there. You can go to my Etsy shop from there. So yeah, there's just lots of good links with the Linktree. If you've seen the Linktree and you didn't know what it was, so you didn't click on it, which I totally get, then that's what that is. Okay, let's put this with the paper clip in here. Let's go this way. I like the flowers sticking out more. Okay, and so yeah, that's where we're at today, and that's in there good and tight. It's like real tight. Probably should let that dry a little longer. So that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to let you guys go, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And on Monday, we'll come back and do the envelope or the other manila file folder that this is going to tuck into. So yeah, I hope that was helpful, and I'm sorry that I fiddle so much with the sewing in the signature. I just am not the best at that, and I will fully admit it. So anyway, I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and we will chat again soon. Love you guys. Talk later. Bye now.